Nothing But the Truth. Hello, I'm Chengappa from India Today and your host for Nothing But the Truth. Every week, we will deal with key issues of concern and bring you perspectives and clarity as to why these matter to you and the one clear truth that emerges. When it comes to cricketing prowess, Imran Khan was lauded for being fearless. What made him one of cricket's greatest was not just his ability to take big risks, but also as the captain of the Pakistan cricket team to pull off impossible victories. I recall that in 1992, in the World Cup there in Australia, which I covered for India Today, the Pakistan team was the underdog, and in one of the early matches, they lost to India badly. But despite suffering from a shoulder injury, Imran Khan came roaring back and led his team to a famous victory against England in Melbourne in the finals. It was the first and only time that Pakistan had lifted cricket's most prestigious cup. Now, 30 years later, Imran Khan, the cricketer turned politician, who was Prime Minister of Pakistan till last year, faces a similar challenge. But this time, he is playing in a far more dangerous political arena. Pakistan is now on the brink of both political chaos and economic collapse. So in this episode of Nothing But the Truth, we will look at what is the endgame in Pakistan. Can Imran Khan turn the tables on his opponents and make a dramatic comeback as Prime Minister? Or has he overplayed his hand and could end up facing a fate similar to that of his predecessors? This includes being banished from Pakistan. Now, before we answer these questions, just a bit of background as to what led to the current mess that Pakistan faces. In the 2018 parliamentary elections, Imran Khan and his party, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or PTI, emerged as the single largest party. It won 149 seats in the National Assembly out of a total of 342 seats. The PTI needed 172 seats for a simple majority, and Imran entered into an alliance with 7 other parties to enable him to cross that magic number and to form a government. He was sworn in on 17th August 2018. Initially, Imran Khan was on cozy terms with the Pakistan Army, which was then headed by General Javed Bajwa. And when I met Imran Khan along with other Indian press reporters in November that year, Khan told us, and this was in Islamabad, that he and the Pakistan Army were on the same page and read from the same book. But to cut a long story short, Imran Khan ran afoul of General Bajwa when he tried to interfere into the internal affairs of the powerful Pakistan Army. So in April 2022, reportedly under pressure from the army, some of Khan's political allies deserted him. Soon after, Khan was forced to resign when opposition members ganged up and passed a vote of no confidence against his government. In its place, a coalition of opposition parties came together to form the Progressive Democratic Front or the PDM. It consisted mainly of the Pakistan Muslim League, the Nawaz Group or PMLN, and the Pakistan People's Party, the PPP, and some of the smaller parties. The PDM formed the government soon after, and the experienced Sharif, the PMLN president, was sworn in as Prime Minister. And Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, the chairperson of the PPP, was made Foreign Minister. Imran Khan, though, would not be cowed down. Khan then took to the streets and openly challenged the army's supremacy, apart from alleging that the US was behind his ouster. The popular support Khan received stunned the Shahbaz Sharif government and shook the Pakistan army. Fueling this disenchantment was that the economy was on the brink of collapse. That was ironically largely because of Imran Khan's poor handling of the economy when he was in power. Inflation was running at over 30%, and particularly petrol and diesel prices had become very dear. Meanwhile, Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves had turned precarious, and the country was in danger of defaulting on payments for import of basic goods. With Pakistan looking for a bailout from the International Monetary Fund or the IMF, the Sharif government was forced to cut back on subsidies and tighten its belt. This further angered the people, and rather than Imran Khan facing the flak, the new government was being blamed for the economic mess. Imran Khan then began to make his political moves. He called for preponing the general election that was due in October, sensing that he and his party could win the popular vote. When the Sharif government refused, he pushed for early elections in the two provinces that the PTI party ruled over, and this was Punjab and KPK. Now, Punjab is even more critical to Pakistan electorally than Uttar Pradesh is for India, as it accounts for a little more than half the seats in the National Assembly, which is equivalent to our Lok Sabha. So Imran Khan had both provincial assemblies dissolved prematurely. He knew that if his party swept the provincial elections, particularly in Punjab, it would cripple the Sharif government and render it a lame duck one. The provincial elections were to be held in mid-May, but both the Sharif government and the army were dead against holding it. Under pressure from them, the Election Commission of Pakistan said it would not be possible to hold the elections in mid-May because of the poor law and order situation. But the Pakistan Supreme Court, particularly Justice Umar Atta Bandial, who is perceived to be pro-Imran Khan, ordered that the elections be held on time. That's when the situation came to boiling point recently. The Sharif government then moved in a ham-handed way to arrest Imran Khan, who faced multiple charges of corruption in earlier cases. But violence broke out in many parts of the country as his supporters went on a rampage. Imran Khan appealed to the High Court and the Supreme Court and ensured that he was granted bail. Then the National Accountability Bureau, or NAB, that is headed by a former Lieutenant General, had Imran Khan arrested for another corruption case in which his wife Bushra Bibi was also involved. This time, the Pakistani Rangers arrested Imran Khan when he was in the Lahore High Court for another case. That's when Imran Khan's party supporters did the unthinkable. They attacked the Lahore co-commander's house and damaged its premises. Apart from that, they tried to attack the GHQ, or the General Headquarters of the Pakistani Army, and the ISI establishments in other cities. It was speculated then that Imran Khan seemed to have had the backing of sections of the army, and that's why he and his supporters were emboldened to take on the establishment. Khan went to the extent of accusing ISI DG of counterintelligence, Major General Faisal Nazir, of wanting to have him killed. Imran Khan had earlier been shot at and suffered bullet injuries in his leg in November 2022 at a rally in Wazirabad, where one of his guards were also killed. Now, while the Supreme Court again bailed Imran Khan out and had him released, Khan had clearly crossed several red lines in Pakistan. The biggest mistake Imran Khan seems to have made was challenging the authority of the Pakistan Army. The Pakistan Army had always controlled the political establishment, even when there were civilian governments running the show in Pakistan. Khan made the cardinal mistake of also unleashing violence on key buildings and institutions belonging to the army establishment. That's when Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir cracked the whip. The army made it clear that all those who attacked army property would be treated as terrorists and brought to book. Rangers surrounded Imran Khan's house, accusing the former Prime Minister of harboring terrorists. Every time the courts intervened and let Khan out on bail, the police and the investigating agencies pressed other cases against him relentlessly. Now let's look at what the endgame is likely to be in Pakistan. There are three major reasons why the situation has deteriorated so rapidly. Neither the army nor the Sharif government want early elections either for the provinces or for the National Assembly. They would prefer that the general elections be postponed even beyond October, when it is supposed to be due. That's because in September, crucially, the current Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Bandial, is due to retire. The incoming Chief Justice is seen to be favorable to the Sharif dispensation. The same month, that is September, the term of Pakistan President Arif Ali, who is an Imran Khan nominee, is set to retire. The ruling coalition would like its own party person to head this constitutional position. With both these two key constitutional representatives not adverse to the ruling dispensation, the army and the Sharif government believe they can plot their next moves without any resistance from them. Secondly, the army would like Imran Khan and his party totally defanged. In recent days, two PTI members, Shireen Mazari and Fawad Chowdhury, quit the PTI and others are expected to follow. Meanwhile, Imran Khan and his wife have been refused permission to travel abroad. Former Indian ambassador to Pakistan, TCA Raghavan, whom I spoke to, says that Imran Khan is basically being cut down to size and the process of dismantling his party, the PTI, has begun. There is every likelihood that his party, the PTI, would be banned for the violence against the army establishment and the public disorder it caused. The Pakistan Defence Minister categorically said so recently. Imran Khan has already been barred by the Election Commission from holding the Prime Minister's office for 5 years after he was found guilty of corruption charges by it. Khan has appealed against this particular verdict, but by September, when the new Chief Justice takes charge, the courts may not look so favorably at his petition. Thirdly, with Imran Khan out of the way, but still a potent force, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has another card up his sleeve. He is keen to get his elder brother and former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif back into the political fray. Now, Nawaz Sharif had been convicted for corruption and faced concurrent jail sentences amounting to 10 years, but was allowed to go to London on medical grounds, where he currently is. By September, with both the judiciary and the presidency under their control, the Sharif government may seek a pardon for Nawaz of all his wrongdoings. There is a talk of a quid pro quo with Imran Khan also being pardoned for some of the cases that he is currently being charged with, so as to make it a level political playing field. Nawaz Sharif remains extremely popular and he is likely to provide a stiff challenge and a good counter to Imran Khan. So if you look at the situation, Imran Khan has currently 3 aces up his sleeve: the Supreme Court Chief Justice, the President of Pakistan, and the popular support of the people. The game in the next few weeks and months by the ruling dispensation is to degrade all these 3 aces. The biggest ace of Shehbaz Sharif is that the army is backing his dispensation and wants Imran Khan out. With the economy collapsing and people's anger growing, Sharif has to ensure that there is a modicum of economic stability before calling for the next general election. So it is in his interest and those of his compatriots to ensure that an early election is prevented and even postponed. The most important player in this game is the Pakistan army, and they will want to ensure that their control over Pakistan remains unchallenged. So they are likely to move whatever or whoever key players that they have on the chessboard to checkmate Imran Khan. Sharat Sabharwal, another former Indian ambassador to Pakistan, told me that martial law is the last resort for the army, as it would not like to take control of the messy economic situation and then be blamed for it. The Pakistani army would rather have a pliable civilian government as its front, while it controls all the levers of power. Both Ambassadors Sabharwal and Raghavan believe that Pakistan will not descend into chaos, and that neither America or China would want it to collapse. But the situation remains unpredictable as its stakeholders, Imran Khan, Shehbaz Sharif, and Asim Munir, play out their respective hands. So, watch out for a truly hot summer in Pakistan. Thank you for listening to this episode of Nothing But the Truth. I look forward to having you with me next week. Nothing but the truth.